The new era of the ninja world begins, with Sarada waiting outside the Hokage's office, glaring at the door. She just stands there, hands in her pockets, already annoyed at both having to wait and what she knows is about to happen. A minute later, she's slamming the Hokage's desk, frustrated at another meeting where Konoha's new leader refuses to listen to her. The 8th Hokage, Shikamaru Nara, looks tired from having to put up with this. They've had this argument again and again. Boruto is a traitor. He killed Naruto. He wants to kill Kawaki. He will not escape punishment. Man, this is crazy. Shikamaru actually became the Hokage. Way back in part 1 of Naruto, they always hyped up Shikamaru by saying that he could be of Hokage caliber if he actually applied himself. He is really just that smart. Now he's not only smart, he's also experienced. Really experienced. He was the previous aide for Naruto and the previous aide for Kakashi when they were Hokage. Sarada insists that that has to be wrong. It does not fit with Boruto's character. Konohamaru, Shikamaru's new assistant, asks the obvious question. If Boruto is innocent, why would he run? And Sarada gives the obvious answer. Konoha has a kill on sight order towards Boruto because he killed Naruto. Of course he would run away from that. Konohamaru is another Hokage hopeful, and it looks like he is next in line. Hopefully Boruto Part 2 can make Konohamaru a bit cooler. He is a fan favorite character for a reason. He's been with us since chapter 2 of the original Naruto story. I love the guy, but he was a bit underwhelming in Boruto Part 1, so hopefully there's a bit of a turnaround. Shikamaru tries to calm the argument down. He just did what Konoha's regulations told him to do when it comes to Boruto. A crime requires punishment. It's also what the people of the village want. They're still angry at Boruto's betrayal, killing their beloved Lord 7th. Even if Shikamaru ordered Konoha's forces to stand down, they probably wouldn't listen to him. Well, so much for ending the cycle of hatred. In fact, I think Naruto is actually the last character who would want the village to get his get back, especially against his son, adopted or otherwise. Sarada doesn't have an answer to that. Even if she could convince Shikamaru that Boruto is innocent, this situation is outside the Hokage's power to solve. This should be the end of the conversation. A faithful, dutiful shinobi should end it here and go back to their mission. Instead, Sarada yells at the Hokage and his assistant, calling them fools right to their faces. She is really fed up with this, and it has made even the lawful Uchiha lose her temper. Konohamaru warns his student, or potentially former student, against being rude to the ruler of the Leaf, but Shikamaru tells him to stop it. Instead, he starts talking to Sarada more gently. He's worried about her. She hasn't taken the Chunin exam. Even now, she is still a Genin. If this keeps up, she will never be able to become Hokage. That makes Sarada pause on her way out. She asks if they're saying that because her father betrayed the village, just like Boruto. So when it came down to it, Sasuke was really about it and went and listened to his daughter, which is still so fire to me. Like, Sasuke leaving with Boruto is an amazing concept. The idea of being able to get flashbacks at some point of them having a training arc and all that is just too hype. It might even be similar to Naruto's time with Pervy Sage. Shikamaru claims that Sasuke's got nothing to do with it. He's just worried Sarada's not acting like a shinobi should. Konohamaru watches, glum, not knowing what to say. And you know, I would actually love to know how everyone is feeling about Sasuke right now. Especially Sakura, I want to know what her thoughts are. Hell, even Kakashi. Sarada points out that Naruto brought Sasuke back to the village despite his crimes. All of Naruto's greatest moments during the war, the stuff that led to him becoming Hokage, he did all that stuff despite being a Genin. Shikamaru narrowed his eyes. Sarada makes it clear that she is sticking with Naruto's example. He is her role model, not whoever holds the title of Hokage. She's not going to listen to Shikamaru just because he's wearing the coat and sitting in the chair. Naruto would defy orders to do what's right. It's clear Sarada would be willing to do the same. And I thought this was just brilliant. For Sarada, her vision of the ideal Hokage that she aspires to be like is Naruto. For Sasuke, her father, it was Itachi, her uncle. It's incredible that Naruto was able to be such a beacon of light for a new generation of Uchiha. And Sarada probably isn't becoming Hokage anytime soon. And if ever, she would probably be the 10th Hokage. Shikamaru is the 8th, Konohamaru can become the 9th, and then that would leave her to be the 10th, which would line up with the typical Hokage succession of master to student. Meanwhile, Naruto and Hinata are still trapped in the Daikokuten void, floating outside of time. A figure slowly walks into the other realm. Kawaki is back, looking right up at these two trapped shinobi. And this man hit that water style drip or drown. Do you see his fit? Oh my goodness. Now Kawaki's face here is weirdly calm. Does he feel anything looking at Naruto and Hinata? Guilt? Determination? He came back here to check on them. It's clear they mattered to him, but looking at his expression, you wouldn't know he cared at all. Outside, Sarada and Sumire were walking down the street. The young ninja scientist was trying to reassure her frustrated friend. It's clear at this point that everyone except them has been changed by omnipotence. They shouldn't blame people for not listening, but just knowing that everyone's been affected by this change doesn't make it easier to accept that they won't help. Sarada is still frustrated, and Sumire is sweating a little as she reflects on the false memory that has afflicted Konoha. Sarada's less upset though. She's angry, especially at Kawaki, the real traitor in this situation. She stops for a second, talking about omnipotence. The memory rewrite wasn't perfect at first. Originally, the villagers could realize that there were contradictions. For example, if Kawaki was Naruto's kid, how come his body was remade by Kara? But over time, omnipotence erased people's ability to notice how their new memories did not fit. Everyone is completely brainwashed, just taking their new memories as fact at this point. Sumire knows that's right, and Sarada's frustration gives way to depression. This power is ridiculous. How do they even start trying to bring it down? Well, the most logical way to start is talking to Ada about it directly. Daemon is not so happy to see the girls, making it clear that they have been doing this for a while. Ada, however, is okay with discussing this some more, though she doesn't argue with Daemon's insistence that this is all futile. Sarada is still insistent on not giving up, and Ada goes over how her abilities work. Omnipotence is the ability to realize your wish and turn it into reality. In this case, it's Kawaki's wish. While Ada could probably guess what Kawaki was thinking, she doesn't share the specifics with Sumire and Sarada. The end result is what matters, and in this case, it's everyone's memories being overwritten, swapping Kawaki and Boruto's positions in their history up until this point. Sarada figures that Ada could just reverse it, but she doesn't know how. She's also not convinced they can just explain this to people. Sarada doesn't get why that is. Your memories were changed is pretty easy to explain. But like Ada points out, it's just as easy to accuse Sumire and Sarada of having their memories changed. And they already learned that omnipotence will make people not notice contradictions to maintain the effect. No one is going to listen to them. The simple option would be giving up on returning things to normal. A second memory rewrite would be possible, but it is inherently risky. Sumire isn't willing to run with that idea, seeing all this as endlessly cruel. Ada looks at her curious before turning the conversation towards something that has been puzzling her for a while. Why weren't Sumire and Sarada affected by her omnipotence? The room suddenly gets very quiet, neither girl wanting to talk. Daemon glares at them. This is awkward. Omnipotence is the root cause of Ada's charm. It won't work on Otsutsuki or anyone who shares Ada's bloodline like Daemon. And somehow, it also doesn't work on the girls. That means, logically, it's clear charm wouldn't work on the two of them either. And because of this, Ada has almost worked out that they can kill her. She asked the pair outright just to confirm. Sarada and Sumire are quiet. Daemon's paying very close attention now. He is Ada's brother, her protector. He's not going to just let a threat like this live. Ultimately, Sumire goes for the bluff, claiming that they're both charmed and just playing it cool. I mean, who wouldn't be charmed by Ada, right? Sarada is silent, praying that worked. Ada pauses, but ultimately accepts this. The girls are still awkward, and Daemon is continuing to look suspicious, but for now, he goes back to laying down. While that's going on, Kawaki's on a balcony looking out at the rest of Konoha. He can feel someone getting close to him. Mitsuki was letting his killing intent flow freely. The other member of Team 7 is worried about Boruto coming to kill his friend, Kawaki. Mitsuki's trying to stay alert in case Boruto has somehow managed to erase his chakra presence. Kawaki's not worried, however. There is no way Boruto will be able to avoid his sight. Mitsuki is still on edge though. He is furious, eager to kill Boruto in order to protect Kawaki. All his feelings towards Boruto have been turned around. Kawaki isn't going to refuse the assistance, but complains about Mitsuki following him, calling his friend a creep. This causes Mitsuki to look at Kawaki for a second and begin mumbling to himself. But then the investigation team sends their new boss a message. They have found claw marks outside the wall. Kawaki immediately forgets Mitsuki, checking on the location before flying off to check what's going on. A second later, he's moving through the air. Mitsuki looks up at him. He echoes his old words towards Boruto, talking about his friend being a sun that illuminates a moon like him. But there is none of that past warmth on his face. It seems like even with Omnipotence rewriting his memories, Mitsuki can feel that this is wrong. Which is very interesting because we just got done saying that Omnipotence has affected everyone completely now. They are not doubting, they don't have any thoughts of the contradictions, but it seems like Mitsuki is. Now, I feel like you could probably rationalize to say that Kawaki was probably a happy kid before his adopted brother killed his father, and so that's why he's so glum these days, but still. At the end of the day, this is Kishimoto's writing we are talking about. This man is the king of fulfillment. When it comes to viewer satisfaction, there is no one better at it. So you already know that Mitsuki at the last possible moment is probably going to turn on Kawaki in favor of Boruto, and it's just gonna be a cool epic moment like that. But before then, I'm also betting on a bit of a fight between Boruto and Mitsuki. That would be amazing. And maybe that would be just enough to completely jog his memory. Meanwhile, Himawari is training hard, launching a flying kick at her sparring partner. Chocho blocks her smoothly, moving to counter with a partial expansion back punch. Himawari, however, is quicker, jumping onto the oversized fist before launching herself into the air and throwing a whole barrage of shuriken at Chocho. That's not enough for a win though. Chocho uses her full expansion, rolling away from Himawari's barrage before it can land and launching herself right into the air. As she goes though, Chocho releases the expansion jutsu, returning to normal size now that she's got the momentum. This way, she can put all that force into a supremely powerful punch. Himawari throws her arms in front of her face, wincing at what's coming. Thankfully though, this is just a sparring match. Chocho instead catches her in a giant arm, landing on a tree before jumping down to the ground. Now that the match is over, a new figure has arrived to talk to the two shinobi. Himawari looks up, surprised to see who's coming to join them. Shikadai and Inojin are both here. They're both impressed at how far Himawari's come in such little time, proud of Kawaki's little sister. Chocho joins in on the praise, calling the young Uzumaki's kick awesome. Now that the fight is over, the four young shinobi talk a little. Inojin is curious. Himawari's just started this kind of heavy training. What's made her want to become strong? Himawari pauses. That's not quite right. She doesn't want to be powerful exactly. She is very hesitant to admit what she's got in mind, noting that if she told the truth, everyone in Konoha would probably be mad at her. But here, with her friends, she can admit the truth. She wants to help Boruto. Shikadai is surprised at that. Inojin and Chocho are full-on shocked. Chocho tells her to stop joking around. Himawari apologizes for surprising them, but won't back down. She's got a different image of Boruto in her mind than what everyone else says about him. Shikadai points out that Boruto's supposed to have killed Himawari's father. She's got every reason to hate him. But even with omnipotence, Himawari can still feel the memory of her brother. She would rather doubt the world, doubt what is an inescapable fact to everyone else, than doubt Boruto. That insistence seems to make Shikadai reconsider. Himawari continues to argue her case. Thanks to the memory swap, she recalls Boruto in Kawaki's place, the guy who protected Naruto and her. That helps make it clear that he wouldn't just kill Naruto. Something has to be wrong. Boruto is in trouble, but with the village trying to kill him, he can't explain it to them. Inojin's still trying to process all this, but Himawari has one last thing to say. She can't explain it, but she can feel her father. He is still alive, somewhere. Over at the outer wall, Kawaki's dealing with the last of Code's claw marks. It just takes a glare to nullify them, and the shinobi on patrol thank him for the help. Still, they're confused as to why Code keeps coming close to the leaf. He's got thousands of soldiers, and keeps leaving these claw marks but doesn't attack. It doesn't make sense. The shinobi know that Code has a grudge against Boruto. Instead of the leaf, the guy should be hunting him. That thought actually helps restore the ninja's mood. Their two hated enemies will hopefully crush each other. But before they can continue that conversation, Kawaki stops them. He goes behind the first guy's back, telling him to stay still. His partner wants to know what Kawaki is doing, but there's no time. The son of the Hokage just rips the first man's shirt open. There is a claw mark on the back of his neck. Code left it there somehow. The Jonin freaks out. Kawaki's calm, asking him where he got it, but the guy doesn't know. Somehow, Code was able to do this without the target being aware. Kawaki calls the Hokage's office. They need to find any other claw marks. If Shikamaru gets the remaining claw mark investigators together, Kawaki can check them and nullify any remaining marks. That'll be a starting point at least. Shikamaru wonders what Code's planning here, but Kawaki insists that they don't have time to ask questions. They just need to get started. The ninja assigned to investigate the claw marks start to gather. But as they go, one man puts a hand to the back of his neck. It is already too late. One of the monsters made from the Ten Tails emerges from that guy's claw mark to the shock of his friends. And the sensory ninja pick up on the foreign chakra entering Konoha immediately. The monster backhands the first police ninja it can reach. The luckless guy hits a wall very hard. His friends start calling for reinforcements, but before anyone can show up, they spot a panicking crowd running for their lives. There's already another one inside the village. At the Hokage's office, Konohamaru is already on top of the situation. There are a bunch of these creatures suddenly appearing all over the leaf at the same time. Shikamaru orders the non-combatants to evacuate and all shinobi to attack the invaders. The Hokage is still puzzled as to why Code picked now to strike. On the main street, a woman has fallen to the ground, menaced by a Code monster as her neighbors just run for their lives. Thankfully, Kawaki's here, knocking the monster away with a fearsome blow. The thing is thrown back across the street, giving the woman a chance to get back on her feet and run. All over Konoha, shinobi are leading civilians away from the monsters towards evacuation areas. But one shinobi is going the other way, leaping high and kicking a Code creature right in the torso. The thing falls to the ground, Sarada landing a few feet away from it. She can recognize Code's claw marks on these monsters, but doesn't know where they came from. As she takes a second to think, an arm reaches out from the monster's eye area. From that point, another Code beast clambers out, ready to attack. A third one follows after it, even as he first starts to get to its feet. These creatures can somehow transport each other through the claw marks, moving through them just like Code can. And to prove that, from the monster's back, a familiar face starts to rise up, towering over Sarada. Code himself has decided to join the battle personally, standing on his monster's shoulders. Sarada hisses his name. The last member of Kara wishes her a good day, his face cold. Sarada is silent, but as Code isn't jumping into action, she asks him what his business is. Code replies that he is looking for Boruto. Sarada points out that he's not here. He left Konoha 3 years ago. Code confirms that he knew that. He's been chasing Boruto for 2 of those years. It's probably gotten boring. Sarada is confused. If Code knows Boruto's not here, why is he looking for him in the leaf? It would make more sense to go literally anywhere else. Code rephrases. He was looking for Boruto, but since he hasn't found him despite hunting for so long, he's decided to quit. He's come to the hidden leaf to try his plan B. Instead of trying to find the rogue ninja, he will draw Boruto out by threatening Sarada and everyone else he cares about. The monsters start to surround Sarada. She is Code's first planned victim. He smiles, asking her to scream so loud that Boruto can hear it no matter where he is. But before anyone else can move a muscle, someone plants a boot right on Code's face. Boruto has finally returned to the leaf, a sword in hand, ready to fight. Sarada looks up in shock. Boruto glares at Code through his unscarred eye. The missing nin is not impressed by this plan, wisecracking that it shows why Code has no luck with the ladies. So holla. Does that mean that Boruto has luck with the ladies? What are we talking about? What kind of time skip energy was this man on? Code doesn't say anything. His monster reaches up, trying to swat Boruto away, but Sasuke's student is way too fast for that, jumping right into the air and out of its reach. Away from the fight, and even with the chaos of the wider attack, Kawaki can finally sense this familiar chakra. He turns towards the scene, but the sensory ninja are way ahead of him. They are already telling Shikamaru that Boruto is back. Ada can feel it too, as does Sumire. She looks out at the balcony, shocked at what just happened. Shikamaru gives his new orders quickly, telling Konohamaru Shinobi to prioritize Code and the claw mark creatures. But they need to keep Boruto under surveillance and work out what he's trying to do now that he is back in the leaf. For now though, all Boruto is doing is returning to Sarada's side, ready to back her up. He is totally calm, despite having willingly returned to a place where almost everyone wants him dead and being surrounded by claw mark monsters. Code and Kawaki both need a second to appreciate what's just happened. After all the years those two spent searching for him, thinking about him, Boruto is finally right there, right in front of them once again. However this fight ends, the ninja world is about to change in a massive way. Boruto has returned with some heat, and hopefully you'll be willing to return to the channel for some more of it. If you want more Boruto content, all you gotta do is ask. Let us know in the comments or drop a like. As always, I'm Sliceable Otaku. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.